All right, look, if I told you that all you had to do to make anywhere from 15K per month to 35K per month was place one foot in front of the other, would you believe it? How many of you guys would argue with me if I told you that you won't allow yourself to make 15 to 30K per month? You're the reason you aren't allowing yourself to make 15 to 30K per month. Would you guys argue with me over that? Let's be honest. Okay, if you guys are arguing with me right now behind the screen, bitching at me like, why the fuck would I not allow myself to have? By the end of this video, you will understand why. Because you are unknowingly choosing to not hit your goal of 15 to 30K per month. You're unknowingly choosing it. Okay, now let me get into this. So if you believe that, we as humans are the only thing existent on this planet, there's no God, there's no higher power, we're the only things here in this three-dimensional reality. Your mind can't escape or comprehend anything out of this three-dimensional reality that we live in. Click off this video right now because you won't even care for anything that I'm talking about. But if you understand that there is an all space, there is a universe outside of this universe, there is a holy, godly area where all these higher power beings exist, or the higher power being exists, and there's higher frequencies around us, then you will understand this. So to keep it simple, the terminology I want to use for this area that all of these frequencies exist, the four-dimensional, five-dimensional, six-dimensional reality, whatever the fuck, right? We're going to call it the magic area, where the magic happens. We're going to call it the alternative space. Okay, where the alternative space is where all of the frequencies, the godly frequencies, all these cosmic energies reside. Okay, the alternative space. Just keep that in your mind. When I say alternative space, I'm talking about this area that we can't comprehend right now. Okay, so let me tell you a story about a man and his goals, right? So this man, he walks into this shop, this alternative shop. It's a shop inside of the alternative space. Okay, he walks into the shop and a worker in there says, "How you doing? What would you like?" So the man then says, I want to run a 7-figure company, right? A company that does 7 figures a year. I want to help young men who were just like me 3 years ago get in the best shape of their fucking lives, right? And I actually want to change lives. I want to impact people, right? I want to change these people's lives, but I also want to make a company that generates me 7 figures every single year so I can help my family out. That's what he tells the worker, right? And the worker then replies with, no problem. Here's the best option for you. Here you go. Take it. Grabs it off the shelf. Here you go. Take it. Take your item. It's perfectly tailored for your exact situation. Will you take it? Now, that man, confused with all of these beliefs in his head, is like, whoa. It is not that easy. Only a few lucky people actually make 7 figures a month or 7 figures a year. And they've just mastered skills that I simply do not have, right? So it can't be that simple. I can't. What are you talking about? Right? That's what the man tells the worker. Now, the worker shrugs, says, "What skills got to do with it? Take your item." The man then replies with, "But, building such a big company is so difficult, and there's so much competition, there's so much sharks in the water, and these companies that actually are doing 7 figures a year have killer salespeople that I don't have." So the worker then says, "All right, here's the best closer. This guy's a fucking killer. He's a shark in the water. Here's the best closer to help you scale. Take your item. You will not regret it." Now, back to the man, he says, all of these guys who are doing 7 figures a year, these entrepreneurs have, the craziest lifestyle. They're driving Lambos. They got Uruses, they got Raris everywhere. They have the finest females surrounding them. They can travel wherever they want. Their families, houses are paid off. They can pay for their mom's, debt. They can pay for their dad's new house, whatever. They can pay for their kids, tuition, whatever, right? How could all that really be mine? I don't believe it. How can that possibly be mine, right? So the worker then says, after hearing this dude yap about how all that could really be his, says, if you don't believe it, young man, I don't believe we can help you at all. Okay, so she turns around, takes that perfectly tailored item for that guy, puts it right back on the shelf, and waits patiently for the next person to come through to the shop that is willing to have. Now, what does this story mean? What was the premise behind this entire thing? Why was I telling you this in the first place? Okay, so going back to before I told you this story, you tell yourself unconsciously that you do not deserve this goal. Let me say that again, okay? You tell yourself unconsciously that you do not deserve this goal. Okay, hopefully that's getting through your thick skull right now. Okay, and don't worry, because I had this exact belief before. You know, I until I heard this and learned about this myself, I genuinely didn't believe that I deserved this goal myself, right? And this was over 2 years ago, and this was so true, and this hit home for me once I started learning about these things. You unconsciously tell yourself that you do not deserve this goal. So how do we combat this? How do we beat this? How do we defeat this situation so this never happens to you again? And so moving forward, after this video, after you've watched this video, moving forward, this is never an issue for you again, and you can actually move the needle in your life closer to your desired reality. So number one on how to combat this issue in this situation is you need to allow yourself to have. Allow yourself, just like you allow yourself to go in the cupboard and grab a bag of chips, allow yourself to have. Allow yourself to have this goal. Okay, I want that to sink in for a minute. Allow yourself to have. After you've done that, you need to allow outer intention. Okay, and outer intention, if you don't know what outer intention is, you need to watch this video up here. Watch that video that explains everything you need to know about what outer intention is, but you need to allow outer intention and God to bring that desired frequency, that desired lifeline where you're making 45K per month or 30K per month, and you travel the world with your friends and you have the most gorgeous girlfriend standing by your side, whatever, right? Allow outer intention and God to bring it closer towards you while you place one foot in front of the other, moving in the direction that your goal is at. Now, after you've allowed that, the next thing you need to allow, the third thing you need to allow is allow the idea that achieving your goal of making 30K per month is your choice. It's your choice. Allow that idea. Once you allow that idea, you will see how foolish the man's comments and responses were in that alternative shop. Okay, and that man might be you. Okay, so to wrap up this video, to conclude this video, success begins with you accepting the identity of your 10.0 self that makes the money you want to be making and that lives the reality that you want to be living. And man to man here, if I can promise you one thing, it's that everything becomes so much easier as soon as you allow yourself to have. I promise you, it becomes a million times clearer. Everything that you feel like you need to do, all the stepping stones getting closer towards your goal, become a million times clearer as soon as you allow yourself to have. Okay, and as soon as you accept that inner belief that goal is waiting for you. Accept that inner belief that's telling you that goal is waiting for you. Accept it, allow it, and promise me that you will not let it slip away, okay? That's all I wish that you guys promised me, because look, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, if I didn't allow that inner belief, I would not be living here, right? This is my view out of my workspace. It's, it's nothing crazy, but truly, if I didn't allow myself to have, I would not be living here, okay? And I would not be living the reality that I've printed out for myself 2 years ago. Okay, so with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this helped you. This wasn't to motivate you whatsoever. Fix that issue, and I promise you the stepping stones will become 10 times clearer. Okay, with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.